So, for today's podcast, I want to focus on what I think is a very important problem statement. Many brands, especially those who are niche or seasonal ones, feel they're not getting full value out of Amazon ads. And in this episode, I want to share how AI is flipping that script. And want to share a case study where I believe you have something exciting to share where the results are like nearly triple digit growth.
Yeah.
My name is Shekhar Reddy, and I lead the partner development for Tech Partner and Creative Tech Partners with Amazon Advertising. I'm your host for this episode and joined by Kashif Zafar and June Choi with Xnurta, a leading technology provider. Kashif, June, excited to have you both.
Thank you, Shekhar.
Excited to be here.
Would love for you to introduce yourselves and tell a little bit about Xnurta.
Absolutely. I'll go ahead and start. So Kashif Zafar, CEO of Xnurta. I think really what excites us with Xnurta is we're helping brands and sellers directly on Amazon, really focusing on how do they maximize their investment on the platform. So we all know brands and sellers struggle with the same thing. They have limited budgets. They need to get the most bang out of the buck for their money. So we're excited to work with brands leveraging AI and innovations in AI to ultimately help them with better efficiencies, return on ad spends, and really be smart about their strategy. So we're really kind of passionate just working with the brands on that level.
Yep. And then June Choi, Senior Vice President of Sales and Partnerships. I think Kashif reviewed Xnurta and kind of gave a sense of what we were doing. So excited to be here and excited to chat.
So let's kick that off. Maybe a question for you, Kashif.
Yeah.
From your vantage point, how is AI changing the advertising industry, and who's winning in ways that no one else is?
Specifically, when I think about retail media and Amazon, AI has changed the game from many of those basic, what I would say, heavy manpower things like bidding strategies, setting up campaigns, optimizing campaigns, really taking the human element of always having to analyze that. So I think what's exciting for us is that AI and AI innovation can now cut through a lot of that manpower and the time needed to be very much going in the weeds of campaigns. The pace has shifted with AI. We all know that innovation is happening at a very quick pace. And so I think what we're used to take days of analyzing ASIN and ASIN performance, what used to take many hours can now be done in a matter of minutes. And now at the same time, I think it's early still. I think brands and sellers are getting used to the concept of leveraging AI more in retail media. And I think the brands that are winning right now in a very competitive landscape, as we know with Amazon, that more and more sellers are there, everyone's going there to sell. The brands that are winning are the ones that are really looking to adopt AI, where it makes sense for these campaign optimizations at the very basic level. AI is not something that you can be a maybe we can do. It's become now business critical for you to figure out how do you leverage AI technology and advancements to really kind of stay competitive.
Yeah.
Because otherwise your competition is going to be
Right.
doing it.
It's table stakes.
Table stakes.
Yeah. And June, what tools and capabilities that you guys are building are trying to address some of the problem statements that Kashif just teed up?
I think, one of the cool things and the statement that we always talk about is this is the worst AI is ever going to be. So whether you're a believer now, whether
Right.
you're a believer a year down the line, 2 years down the line, AI is only going to get better. And so I think one of the big things about us and the aspects of our technology that are different is that we have from an advanced comprehensive AI suite, we cover 8 different optimization levers, where I think it's very different than what the market has today. Bid and budget optimization, right? Bid and budget day parting, keyword negation, keyword harvesting, and something we call rapid testing, where the AI, as Kashif mentioned, it does a lot of things that I think just human beings aren't as good as doing as machines are, which is basically making thousands of micro optimizations a day on testing if a cent increase in bid increases conversion rates, and if it doesn't, decrease it a cent, and doing that 1,000 times. And so there's a lot of excitement, and I think a lot of what our product is revolved around is how do we help support the folks that are managing and optimizing these campaigns by taking out those manual tasks that a machine should actually be doing because it's much more efficient, and then having the human beings actually focus more on the support side, the strategic side, the client-facing side, which human beings are much better at doing.
Got it. And are your customers embracing this with open arms, or is there a sense of skepticism before they could go towards this?
I think there's always a sense of skepticism for some folks, and then there's a sense of excitement for others.
Right.
And then once they see the numbers, it's excitement for all. But I think a lot of folks where maybe they've been burned by other tools and technologies in the past, there's
Right.
a heavy sense of skepticism, right?
Right.
And I think it's more of an education process of then why is our product different?
Right.
Where AI, for some folks, and a lot of folks actually, is like it's a buzzword, right? What does AI actually mean? And so if you break down the specific levers
Right.
and then you get them into the product and they see performance, I think that skepticism then turns into excitement and then it turns into scale.
Yeah.
And just to add to that, I think the other thing that for those that haven't embraced it totally is the fear of it taking over their
Right.
workload and their responsibilities. And so I think a lot of this is education.
Yeah.
Dude, like it's not there. AI and AI innovations in retail media are not there to replace you, for example, as a brand manager or a advertising manager. It's really there to help you, right?
Absolutely.
It's really an extension of you, like a digital teammate. Ultimately, if you embrace it that way, then I think then the adoption is easier.
Yeah, and especially when you have features which allows you to tweak and test.
Yeah.
It's not a one-way door.
That's right.
Which allows you to learn.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So let's jump into the meat of this conversation. I want to learn about the case studies. Perhaps I believe you work with some of the leading gift card providers
Yeah.
who you helped in a time of need. So tell me more, Kasha.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll talk about this. So we have a major food delivery service and a prominent rideshare company that really leverage Amazon ads in conjunction with our Xnurta's Amazon AI platform. And so really the technology along with the brand knowledge combination of the two really drove exceptional measurable outcomes. So both brands navigated unique market challenges in the space, as you can imagine. Food delivery brand has its own challenges around the complexity of both digital versus physical cards, right? And kind of navigating and winning in both, while actually transitioning from more promotion heavy strategy to one that's more ongoing and evergreen throughout the year, right? And so, so really the idea here was a data driven approach. And then for the food delivery, and then we had a rideshare brand who faced nuances of just challenges due to the multifunctional aspects of gift card use. So through AI-powered solutions such as keyword harvesting, budget day parting, and bid optimization, these brands were able to capture more of that seasonal demand in Q4 specifically. And so that was some of the main focuses around these two brands.
Got it. You said something interesting about the fact that with the food card, gift card, for instance, it's a promotional heavy space.
Yeah.
So is it fair to say that these AI capabilities are not only optimizing the campaigns, they might be serving feedback loop into their marketing strategy as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I think with the food delivery gift cards, brand sales, ultimately, it's all about sales expansion, right? Ultimately is what we're talking about. So in Amazon's gift card market has evolved quite a bit.
Right.
So initially, promotions were the primary driver, right? Promotions are the way in this industry to really be the driver of consumer demands. But the emergence now of Amazon ads for gift cards has really been a powerful lever of sales for this type of client. So on top of it, they're navigating all sorts of digital and physical card purchases, like I mentioned earlier, managing unique designs, effectively targeting the right audience, and presenting additional obstacles to overcome. So to maximize really the demand and capture and sustain momentum in a very increased competition in a competitive market, this food delivery gift card brand needed a strategic approach, an adaptable approach, right? And really look at the tools and understanding their segments of audiences better. And a lot of that was doing test and learns, right? Doing test and learns in terms of some of the peak seasons, for example, Q4 of last year. So additionally, with the growing competition, implementing more of that strategy, not only for seasonality, but your evergreen strategy was really important for them.
Now, for folks who are listening to this podcast and trying to make notes, okay, we have two case studies and both of them are gift cards. Are these insights and lessons transferable? Is it category specific, agnostic? What would be your message to other categories?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the with our AI and the technology, it scales. So it really is category agnostic. It really is just based on the data, right?
Right.
And the data is present with whatever product or kind of product that you sell. And what the AI is truly looking at is, okay, what's driving conversions? What's driving an efficient ACoS? And then as I walk backwards from that example that I gave, literally is like, hey, does increasing our bid on this specific keyword by 1 cent impact the ACoS or ROAS for this specific campaign? And it does this thousands of times, millions of times throughout the lifetime of the campaign. And so as you look at that across any category that's applicable, as you look at budget day parting, bid day parting, what times of the day are driving the highest conversion rate? So you want to allocate more budget to that time of day versus maybe midnight where the product doesn't convert that well. The AI is smart enough to recognize that, and it's enabled to scale, right? And so I think a lot of these levers you can take across any specific category, because at the end of the day, it's really data. The more data that you have, the more data you can optimize, the better your campaigns are going to be, and that's what the AI is driving.
Got it. And is there a sense of expectation on how educated someone needs to be before they become a customer and start leveraging these AI capabilities? Or do I put my trust in your hands and let you do the magic?
We call our AI a co-pilot. Okay. So I think the education lever and what our AI is so good at doing is it takes basically the best practices of every single campaign that you've ran in the past. And if you haven't run any, it'll take best practices that we've seen and implement that into your campaigns. So what the AI kind of takes away is that entry point, right? Because you can, with our AI, you can click a couple buttons and you can launch a campaign within a couple of buttons that is literally the best practices based on data, based on historical insights, et cetera. And then you have the more advanced users, right, that are much more educated, that might have run a lot more campaigns, and what they use the product is much more for scalability, time savings, and ultimately it's performance, right? Because if the AI isn't driving an increase in performance relative to the baseline of what you've done in the past, then people aren't going to use it. And so as it gets to the performance side of things, that's what everybody cares about, from expert users all the way to folks that have never run an ad before.
Yep.
And so the AI is really optimized towards driving that performance. And then I think the rest of the things follows.
Just add, I think the key here is what you just said. Everyone's going to be at a different place. You're going to have people that are really advanced in Amazon ads and really understanding the campaign structures. You're going to have others that are early days or they don't know how to really optimize there. So what's nice about the tool and what's nice about AI innovation that we had right now, and as June mentioned before, it's really a co-pilot. So the co-pilot allows you to have manual intervention as well as leveraging AI. It allows you as a user of the system and tool to say, when do I want to use AI and when do I not want to use AI? So it's really, truly remarkable with these advancements that as a user, depending where you are on the total spectrum of knowledge of Amazon ads, you can use it custom to your preference and custom to your comfort level.
Got it. And as a user, am I able to get reports or any kind of signals to get a pulse on how is AI performing for me? Am I going in the right direction?
I think that was one of the key things when we started looking at our tool and AI in general, is like you need that transparency.
Right.
So the key thing is like being transparent about what are those micro changes that we're talking about? What is the AI changes that are happening? What are those minor bid changes that they're doing throughout the day to really kind of go up and down, for example, on bid optimization? So the transparency of those logs, the transparency of what exactly are those changes is really what's helping people adopt the AI more. So that's been a big part of this, is like as an ad manager now, for example, if I'm managing a brand or I'm managing a book of business, I can actually go back and explain the changes. I can explain the performance improvements leveraging AI. So the transparency for us was really important for people to feel comfortable. It's to be able to see all of the changes that are occurring behind the scenes.
I want to quickly do a recap for the group and the audience that's listening in. I think I want to start with some of the tools and features that you talked about, June, because there were several features. Starting with what you think are some of the most used features within your AI capabilities. What should the audience take away from here? Where is AI playing the most critical role for you today?
A lot of maybe what AI was even a year ago is very different to what it is now. And so maybe you didn't see performance or maybe you didn't see the features that you wanted a year ago. It's a completely different world now. So I think the key thing that we always talk about is test and learn, try the product, and then make the assumptions afterwards. And I think some of the core features that our specific business focuses on is obviously like the sponsored ads, the DSP, and driving AI adoption for any of those campaigns that you have running, which consistently will be a core focus of ours moving forward. And I think some of the key features like budget and bid optimization, budget and bid day parting, keyword negation, keyword harvesting, and rapid testing, all of that will continue to be a core function of what we build upon moving forward.
I think I'll just add to that. I think the results speak for itself, right? So even in the case study that we're referring to, right, just seeing 5x ROAS and just seeing a significant impact to brands in such a short period of time is really what's very compelling here. So I think the takeaways is really look at your current ad strategies, look at how you're currently competing in the category on Amazon. If you're not leveraging AI already, really start asking the questions, whether that's internally or if you're using an agency. You really need to look at AI as something that's mission critical, business critical. It's not nice to have anymore. Otherwise, your competition is going to do it. You're going to fall back behind. So it's really about look at your business right now, look at the opportunities there. June mentioned earlier, are you looking at all the levers now? We have Amazon Marketing Cloud. We have AI for Amazon Marketing Cloud. You have more data at your disposal looking at the full funnel advertising, sponsored ads, DSP, AMC. So really take advantage of the tools and technology there as a brand and seller is, I think, the biggest takeaway. Now it's easier than ever with all of these tools and these AI features to allow you to really implement quicker. You're not talking about a 6-month test and learn, like June was saying. You're talking about a test and learn that can happen within weeks and months. So I think ultimately that would be what I would say.
Got it. So I want to circle this back to the problem statement I set up at the beginning of this episode, which is there are several brands out there who feel like they're not getting full value of Amazon ads. And if I've heard one thing loud and clear from you both is that there's plenty of gold to be found here. And it's really at the cusp of trying to understand how these AI features work and how do you get better and better with that. Where should customers go to learn more about all these? Do you have marketing materials? And what's the best way to follow up?
Yeah. So obviously we have our website, xnurta.com. And then we have a pretty strong presence on LinkedIn as well. And so if you guys or if any of you are curious, please feel free to reach out either directly to Kashif or I or submit on our website. And we're always happy to chat.
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much, both of you, to have. And hope you get to enjoy some rosé.
Yeah. It is.
Our next stop after that.
It's the next stop.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
All right. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, Shaker. Thank you.